Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So get ready, Bitcoin holders. I have something to show you, and I think this is the most meaningful thing I could show you. Out of all these things I said, this is what you need to pay attention to. So let's focus on Bitcoin, what is going on, and what's going on with altcoins today. So as always, smash up the like, subscribe to the channel, 2 streams almost every day, 11:30 and 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Make sure you hit that notification bell and follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and check out all the latest news, article, and guides at CryptosRUs.com. Welcome, guys. Welcome. It's a good day. It's a good day to be DCAing. So that's the best way to look at it. Today is kind of a down day from yesterday, but overall, this is just a blip on the radar because when in doubt, you zoom out and you realize, yeah, we're doing just fine. We're doing just fine. So I noticed some people in the live chat asking why it crashed, why it dumped. It didn't. It didn't. Okay? Not every day is going to be a fantastic up day. But yet, even yesterday, we had a fantastic day. Even though Bitcoin didn't move yesterday, we had many altcoins that formed new highs. Some of the layer ones I've talked about, right? They're taking a breather today, but overall, they're really close to their previous high yesterday. So things are still looking pretty darn good. This is not time to be panicking or fearful. So that's Bitcoin at 61,000. Why did it go down? Well, it just does what it does. Stop zooming in so much. Stop trying to look at the 5-minute chart, right? When in doubt, zoom out. Go to the 4-hour chart and you'll see that it's hovering. It's going sideways. But that's why I want you guys to pay attention to this move because this is all telling, okay? This is what's really happening behind the scenes. So despite the fact that the price, you could see, is going sideways right now, and it's only been like a week or so, guys, okay? What's really telling is the reserves of Bitcoin across all the exchanges is dropping like a rock, okay? Look at last time. Look at September when the reserves dropped like it fell off a cliff or something, right? Bitcoin's price didn't move all that much. In fact, it even went down a little bit. But guess what happened? It started pumping up in a big way, right? Because when the reserves drop off the exchanges, that means Bitcoin is being removed from a circulating supply and also means that we have some whales or companies or institutions or funds that bought a ton of it. That's why it's being taken out of circulation, right? And look at what happened recently. Starting from the 25th, going all the way till now, we have a huge, significant drop of reserves, okay? So again, some entity out there bought a ton of Bitcoin and it is now removed from the reserves. So this is the most important thing to pay attention to, okay? What causes price to go up? Simple as supply versus demand. Whenever there's too much supply and not enough demand, things go down. And the opposite occurs when there's little supply and too much demand, right? And that is what's happening with Bitcoin. More and more people, companies, entities are buying it up. And there is such a small amount out there. So this is why when there's small moves like this, you should ignore it. And most of you guys have been watching me for a while, at least for a few months now. I think some of you guys may be new, so that's a false statement. But a lot of you guys have been watching me for a while. You have heard me say this at 3,000, at 6,000, at 10,000, at 20,000, at 30,000, 40, 50, and even now at 60,000. I'm telling you to don't fret over the day-to-day volatility. Pay attention to the future, right? You don't want to give up on becoming the person you were set out to be. And that is someone that's financial free, right? So this is very telling of what's about to happen, okay? Also, something that supports this. Supply held by entities between 1 to 10 Bitcoin, which is a lot these days. One Bitcoin costs you over $60,000, right? So it's anywhere from $60,000 to $600,000. These entities, these people, keep accumulating. Starting from the very beginning till now, it seems like it has never dropped and never dipped. It just keeps going higher and higher and higher. So it's not just the big boys, not just Wall Street and everyone else. It's retail investors, and this is all taking away from the supply as well. Okay, Google search trends is starting to come back up just a little bit. But last time it was this high, Bitcoin archives correlated that Bitcoin went up 3x afterwards. So 3x at 60,000, what is that? 180,000, 200,000? That's what a lot of people think is coming, right? Plan B thinks so. And many other Willy Woo and Kathy Wood. Of course, Michael Saylor. I mean, anyone you ask, they all think it's coming. Maybe not by the end of this year, but we will see it if we get extended cycle into 2022, right? So we have that going. Also, daily active addresses stay above 1 million, okay? And Lightning Network maintains substantial growth. Lightning Network is a layer 2 on top of Bitcoin. It makes spending Bitcoin very easy, very fast, very cheap. Although not all wallets support Lightning in the future, maybe. But there's a show that, yeah, not only are people holding it, but people are actually using it. And that's why Lightning Network can maintain this substantial growth. Last time I heard it was 7%. 7% every week or every month, something like that. I think it was every week. Last time I saw statistics on it. So if you think about it, 7%, 7%, 7%, I mean, it doubles like every 10 days, basically, if that's true. And if you guys know, verify. But yeah, so pretty good. And also you have miners like Riot, which produced 464 Bitcoin in October. That's up 433% from a year ago. Last year, October 2020, they only mined 87 Bitcoins. This October, they bumped it up to 464. Do you know the amount of money and amount of miners needed to increase Bitcoin production by 433% while difficulty is going up? That is astronomical, right? And that's because, you know what? Riot wanted to take advantage of the exodus from China, wanted to take advantage of cheap Bitcoin while it could still be had, right? And guess what? Not only did they produce 433% more, they're holding on to it. They're not selling any of it. Now they hold nearly 4,000 Bitcoins. That's quite a lot. And every single miner, at least in North America, is doing the same thing. None of them are selling. All of them are just loading up at this point. All right. Now, that's Bitcoin. This is the reasons why you should not be fearful of Bitcoin going down $1,000 today, okay? Like some of you guys maybe are new or pretending. I don't know, you're trolling. This is why you should not fret, all right? Bitcoin is going up, and it's going in the right direction right now. You just have to have patience. When it comes to Bitcoin, it's really all about patience, all right? Let me see, make sure I don't miss anything. Awesome. Member for 2 months. Morning. Let's see. What else is there? Make sure I didn't miss anything. John David John says, Fed tapering over. We should be good till June, until they increase rates. Probably we will have a good run up. High inflation fears. Best place not to lose money. Save the buying power looks like crypto and tech stocks. I can't disagree with that. Inflation is still going to be a thing. Even though the tapering is starting, right? Yesterday I covered this news about Powell saying that he's going to start buying less stuff every month. That less stuff is still very little compared to how much they are buying. But rates are not going to go up. Inflation is still a thing, right? So, yeah, we got plenty of time. Plenty of time why many people many entities and people are FOMOing into Bitcoin because of inflation fears, as a hedge of inflation. Even JP Morgan called Bitcoin going to 150,000 because they see it as a hedge against inflation. They see their clients moving away from gold into Bitcoin. I mean, this is coming from the world's largest bank and someone that hates Bitcoin, someone that doesn't want Bitcoin to succeed, and yet their analysts are calling this. So think about that. And every single bank out there on the planet Earth is thinking about how to get involved with Bitcoin at this point. All right, now what about altcoin news? Just a few things. I mentioned a few projects formed all-time highs yesterday, and they're not very far off. For example, Solana went up to 247. They're at 242, so they barely came down, right? They formed a new high. Polkadot formed a new high at 55, and they're at 453.6. So they're right there at their all-time high. Luna also formed a new high last night, 49.6. They're 47. Avalanche went up as high as 81, a new high. Now they're at 76, right? So overall, you have a lot of projects that have formed new highs, and they're not far off from there. And today, Vechain is up in a big way. I mentioned big news about Vechain. It could be the catalyst a lot of us are looking for, and that is their very first DEX. Very first DEX is coming out in less than a week away. That is very significant. It's a new shift for Vechain in terms of concentrating more on consumer side than business side. That could be a huge catalyst up. Axie Infinity also going up. And another project that is having their very first DEX is Elrond, which is why Elrond is also up pretty significantly. And in fact, they have surpassed Phantom. Interesting. So Elrond also is getting their very first DEX, and people are paying attention, right? So they are moving up in a big way. In fact, they formed a new high too, right? At 320, and they're not too far off from there. I'm waiting for Vechain to form a new high. They're still far off, and I'm waiting for them to get that push, that DEX, but today is still a very good day for altcoins. Now, there are some altcoin news still. Kevin Durant, you guys know who Kevin Durant is of New Jersey, Brooklyn Nets. Sorry, I'm still used to saying New Jersey Nets, but Brooklyn Nets. He's starting a new firm for the sole purpose of investing in crypto and blockchain projects. So think about that. And he's basically throwing, what, $200 million into this? $200 million while he's raising funds. It's not all of his money, but he's putting an enormous amount to get into the crypto sector, right? So everyone wants a piece right now. Everyone wants a piece. This is why it's so exciting. This is why altcoins have ballooned up in 2021 and will continue to go higher because you have so much attention and money, more importantly, coming into this space, right? And it's not just on NFTs, but it could, because according to EA, NFTs and play-to-earn games are the future of the industry. So what does that mean? And EA is going to come out with, play-to-earn games and NFTs on, the Google and Apple Play stores. Probably. It's probably going to happen in the near future, right? Why would you not? We have free games with all these paid items, right? That's very hot. Imagine the reverse, that players, right, actually get paid to play. That's such a reversal, and if you think about it, that's so much more enticing. Rather than playing a game that you had to pay for items, now you get to play a game that you enjoy and make money from that, and then be able to sell your items because you own it. That is such a paradigm shift in terms of how games are, and that's why something like Axie Infinity is nearing $10 billion, and why others are copying and following suit, right? So think about it. So it makes a whole lot of sense. Let me make sure I didn't miss any super chats. You think Coinbase is a sell? No, I think Coinbase is a long-term hold. Coinbase is just doing so much. They're doing crazy lending now. You can borrow against $1 million against your Bitcoin. Of course, their volume is exploding as crypto gets hotter. They do OTC with all the biggest companies. They're coming out the NFT marketplace. I mean, Coinbase, I think as a stock is a must hold. I think if you're looking for alternative to something that is not a crypto, but something that's related, Coinbase. Coinbase, I think, is definitely going higher. There's going to be volatility, but yeah. Norbert, thank you. Swiss Post is issuing an NFT based on crypto stamp. Next step to mass adoption. That's interesting. Ukomi just formed a relationship with the USPS, although USPS is not the most up-to-date postal service in the world. In fact, it's probably the worst one. All right, what do you think about NFT pawn shop platforms like Pawn My NFT? I think they're still working on a platform to start pawning NFTs. I have no idea. You're probably associated with that company. That's why you're asking, and I don't think anyone is aware of that. But I think it sounds okay. I bought Cadena after you covered it. Right now, it's pumping up to 9. How far do you think it'll go? I started looking more into Cadena. I'll talk about it in Q&A. But I do think their ceiling is quite high. They've made a lot of developments recently that's very, very positive. And one big game, NFT play to earn game that a lot of people are talking about, UFO, that's running on Cadena. And that could be one of the catalysts in terms of driving it higher. All right, and what do you think about DeFi 2.0 movement, new idea of protocol-owned liquidity? Marlon, I don't even know what that means, to be honest. I don't know what that means, and I don't know what DeFi 2.0 means because I think everything is still moving and shifting, and I think it's too early to say DeFi 2.0. All right, now, what about Engine? Engine wants to decentralize the metaverse with a $100 million fund, and it'll be seeding investment. It's a seed investment for projects. It's building on Infinity, which is a chain focused on NFTs, and it's built in conjunction with Polkadot. So that's a $100 million fund. Recently, we see projects throw out $300, $400, $1 billion, right? These projects are finally taking marketing seriously. They're throwing out an enormous amount of cash, but they're not throwing it on Google AdWords or AdSense, right? What they're doing is incentivizing project makers to come on board and start building. And that is the right thing to do. That's the right thing to do. That's how you build up your ecosystem and make things better. And also, speaking of Axie Infinity, their new Ronin Dex is live. This is why Axie is doing pretty good. So now you could trade AXS, small Axie token, also small love potion, USDC, wrapped ETH, right? This is a pretty big move. I just got done talking about Dexes coming on Vechain and Elrond. Now it's coming, or it's already here for Axie. This makes it easier. This is why Axie also has gone up today and why it'll probably continue to go up. You can see it's up 9% today. It's amazing that Axie is now close to $10 billion. You see the 1 year performance, it doesn't even show, because if it did, it would be like millions of percents. It's like so high that it can't even register. These actually really came out of nowhere and just started pumping up, right? I did talk about Axie early on, but not so much because I don't play the game, but I've been told so many people tell me that it's a great game, and a lot of people in Asia is really, really addicted. Not only are they using it to make passive income, but they're using it to make active income. They're actively playing every single day and making great money just by growing their Axies and selling it, right? And creating new Axies and mating them and stuff like that. It's wild. It's wild. All right. With that said, that's pretty much it. I have a new sponsor today. Interesting project. MirMir, where it's the world's first quiz game powered by the blockchain. So what does that mean? Quiz game. Well, you have trivia games, you have tournaments, you have one-on-one. I mean, it's endless in terms of the quizzes that you can take, right? And they are powered by the blockchain. And here's the thing. You get paid to answer these questions, right? Like the analogy I had before about getting paid to play games, that is what they're doing. You could enter tournaments and you can win a whole bunch of money, or you could just take quizzes and get rewarded, right? So it's an interesting concept, and it's all about games and NFTs and quizzes. I mean, everything you could think of, right? So their basic one is just you take a MirMir quiz. There's play to earn stuff, right? Where you can go into live tournaments or one-on-one. They talk about it, and you can have, live streamed events right on their app. right? So think about how interactive this is, right? You're watching a live stream. It could be whatever, soccer. It could be an esports tournament or whatever. And you could have quizzes and tournaments that's launched on the app at the same time. Of course, you could do one-on-one stuff, just for fun if you need to waste time or whatever. Of course, everything is free. You don't have to pay anything to play. And you get rewarded in MirMir tokens, right? So it's pretty much a win-win-win-win-win situation because you pay nothing to get on and you can earn tokens. Now, their apps for iOS and Android is coming out very soon. Very soon. You say in early November, so that's very soon. And you look at Victor, who is the CEO. He's someone that's well-seasoned. He's been around in many companies like LG and EA. I just got done talking about EA, but he's been around the block, a seasoned guy. If you look at their Twitter, very active, 25,000 followers with many, many, many updates all the time, right? And right now, what they have is they have an IEO going on at Gate.io. They were only trying to raise $100,000 with their IEO. They have raised $37.5 million already, and there's about 9 hours left for those of you guys that are interested in this IEO. All right, guys, that's MirMir in a nutshell. If you are interested, check them out. URL is in the description of this video. All right, guys, next, let's do some Q&A. All right, scrolling up here. Make sure I didn't miss anything. I don't know if you guys felt the energy today. I had that energy, right? Usually when I do coke, I have a lot of energy. I didn't say that out loud. Sorry. How high do you think Elrond could go? DEX launching this month. I just talked about it, right? I think Elrond has a really good shot right now. They have a robust NFT market already. And now they're coming out their DEX very first, but there's going to be many. Once you start getting yield farming and AMMs and yield multipliers and all that stuff to come, right? It could get them far. But the thing is, they already are pretty big at 6 billion, right? So can they climb to, 8 to 9 to 10 billion? Sure. I think that's definitely possible. Yeah. People are still complaining about my intro that I removed. Some people like it. Most don't like it. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I'm just gonna keep it off for now. I'll play it on occasions and make it a special thing. Derek, appreciate that. Saw there could be some movement with Cardano dApps launching, Raven DEX, any sites. There's no DEXs on ADA. All these ones are coming out like Raven DEX, ADA DEX, and Ergos, and many others. It's not done. It's not done. When it's done, it'll push Cardano higher. But right now, it's not done, and that's the problem, right? That's the problem. Have you checked out Blockchain Infrastructure Alliance? I have not. I have not. Oh, by the way, there's something I need to share with you guys real quick. So, this morning, BitBoy went on Anthony Pompliano's site because last night or yesterday, Anthony Pompliano called out BitBoy, calling him a shiller and a promoter of shitcoins, and that's in response because BitBoy called supposedly Pomp and his altcoins, his views outdated, and he sounds like a boomer, right? So Pomp actually went really beyond, and I saw this today. So much respect for BitBoy for, first of all, going on after Pomp basically called him out and basically egged him on to come on the show, which he did. And I think this is a good one. I honestly think BitBoy or Ben defended himself well. And I think Anthony Pompliano is coming from the Bitcoin maxi viewpoint, right? Which is basically everything is a shitcoin except Bitcoin. And there's nothing wrong with just Bitcoin, right? But I just don't like Bitcoin maxis that think all altcoins are shitcoins. But he did go at BitBoy hard, okay? This was not like a friendly conversation. It's interesting, so I want you guys to take a look at it. You tell me who you think is right. And, you know, after watching this, I wouldn't mind going on Pomp's show. Just talking all things. Now, of course, not confrontational, but talk all things. Bitcoin, altcoins, and so forth, right? Because you know what the thing is? A Bitcoin maxis mindset is like the same as a gold bugs mindset, right? You had like someone like Peter Schiff that made a ton of money with gold. So of course, when something new comes out like Bitcoin, he's gonna call it, garbage, a Ponzi, a shitcoin, right? Because he made a lot of money with gold and he doesn't understand Bitcoin. So I think Bitcoin maxis also have that stance. It's like they got in early, they made a ton, and now all these altcoins are coming out with these cool stuff, and they're trying to like call it shit coins because they don't truly understand or they don't want to. They're trying to protect their bag, right? So that's how I feel about most Bitcoin maxis. Most, not all. Some are actually really good about it. But anyways, this is an interesting watch. You guys should watch it if you have some time. All right. Outside of that, last few questions. Where do you see Phantom? I think Phantom is still in a good position. They will continue higher. Don't worry about that. I think they're a really good position. They got a large ecosystem. Elrond's first launch pad, Hollow Ride, is coming up, backed by Audi. Interesting. Milan will be the first team to launch NFTs. I saw that. Chili's is finally, after me saying it for months and months and months, not that they listened to me. I'm sure they were planning already, but they're in tokenization of, team tokens, but now they're finally getting into NFTs, which I think is going to be a big thing for them because everyone wants NFTs. What do you think about Unibright? I forgot what Unibright is. Last 30 days, not doing very well. They sound very familiar. Oh yeah, it's a blockchain from Germany. I remember that. I don't remember specific details, but I remember it. Jeff, I appreciate it. Seek is the most underrated metaverse. Most fiat you would stake in stablecoin on one exchange in a bear market. There's people that store millions, man. There's people that have millions on exchanges. That's why they're able to buy and sell and cause manipulation, right? So I'm thinking if they have millions, you could have millions too, but it's not recommended to have millions, right? Especially from a standpoint of security, and they can lock out your account and so forth. But I'm sure there's many whales out there that have millions or tens of millions in stablecoins riding on the exchanges right now. So that's my answer to that. All right, guys, I'll let you guys go. That's it. Thanks for tuning in. As always, smash a like, subscribe to the channel. This is the one thing that everyone should focus on, not day-to-day volatility. The one thing is reserves dropping and dropping hard and continuing to drop. This is what's going to make Bitcoin go up ultimately. All right. I'll see you guys tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.